Thank you for taking the time to listen to this recording about the Oregon State Hospital. My name is Jody McCurry, and I am an ombuds with the hospital's Ombuds and Family Services Office. Some of you may be wondering, what is an ombuds? In short, an ombuds is someone who takes complaints about an organization or public authority, investigates them, and helps resolve the issue when possible. They can also make recommendations for how the organization can do a better job. At OSH, an ombuds is a neutral intermediary between the Oregon State Hospital and a patient's family member, or friend of a patient. We investigate concerns and complaints about the hospital and work to find the best possible resolution. We also work closely with families to answer questions and to encourage family involvement in their loved one's care. Throughout the year, we coordinate family outreach and education events. Please visit oshfriends.com for more information. Contact information for these services is shared at the end of this presentation. Please feel free to contact us at any time. Having a loved one admitted to the Oregon State Hospital can be a challenging time. It's normal to feel confused, scared, or even relieved. We expect that you will have questions and concerns and are here to help. We welcome and encourage a patient's friends and family members to visit and be involved while their loved one is at the hospital. This presentation will give you an overview of what the hospital is like, the treatment and services that patients receive, and information about how you can be involved. The vision and mission of the Oregon State Hospital provides a roadmap for all of the work that we do, which can be boiled down to three basic things: hope, safety, and recovery. Hope is important because many people enter the state hospital scared or unsure of what's coming next. Staff strive to help each person have hope that things can and will get better and focus on their goals for the future. Safety is the absolute top priority of Oregon State Hospital for both patients and staff. You can't get better if you don't feel safe, and you can't do your job if you don't feel safe. Recovery is the business of what we do. Our job is to help people get better, heal, and return to their life in the community. We believe every person who comes through our doors is capable of recovering and going on to live a meaningful life after hospitalization. In regards to our mission, evidence-based means our therapies are based on scientific studies that are proven to help people recover. Person-centered means that the patient leads their own treatment, that each person is unique with their own strengths and life goals, and it's our job to support each individual in a way that works best for them. The Oregon State Hospital serves people who need a higher level of care than what is offered in community-based programs. Just like any hospital, we have doctors and nurses on site 24/7, along with an on-site medical clinic, pharmacy, and lab. At Oregon State Hospital, our job is to help people who need hospital-level care get stable and healthy enough to step down to a community placement that's right for them. For some, this is a secure residential treatment facility or supported housing. For others, it might be living with a family member or going back to jail to stand trial. We always work very closely with providers in the patient's home county to make sure there is a solid transition plan. People are admitted to the Oregon State Hospital under one of three commitment types. People are civilly committed when a judge agrees with mental health providers that someone is a danger to themselves or others, or they are unable to provide for their own basic needs because of a mental illness. A civil commitment can last up to 6 months at a time. Someone who has been civilly committed will be evaluated before they reach the 6-month mark to determine if they need to stay at the hospital. If they do, they will go before a judge for a recommitment hearing. If a person has a legal guardian, that guardian may work directly with the county mental health provider and the Oregon Health Authority to determine if the individual meets criteria for a civil commitment and to determine the level of care they need. The guardian must provide the hospital with a copy of the court order that gives them legal guardianship status in order to proceed with this type of commitment. However, the Oregon Health Authority might decide that a community placement is most appropriate. People found guilty except for insanity of a crime are placed under the jurisdiction of a separate state agency called the Psychiatric Security Review Board, or PSRB, for the maximum time they would have been sentenced to jail if they were convicted. The PSRB decides which level of care is best for the individual. Sometimes that is Oregon State Hospital if they need hospital level care. However, there are more people under PSRB jurisdiction living in the community than receiving care at the hospital. Then, based on their level of safety and recovery, the PSRB may allow someone to leave the hospital under conditional release, meaning that they are released from the hospital to a community placement. The PSRB sets the conditions that the patient must agree to and comply with while living in the community. Patients who are conditionally released remain under PSRB jurisdiction for the entire length of time set by the court. If you are accused of a crime, it is a civil right to be able to aid and assist in your own defense. People under the aid and assist, also called 370 commitment, have been ordered to the hospital by the courts because they are unable to assist due to the severity of their mental illness. For people under aid and assist, treatment focuses on stabilizing their symptoms so they can cooperate with their attorney, understand the criminal charges against them, and participate in their trial. A psychiatrist or psychologist will conduct competency evaluations to determine if they are fit to proceed with the legal process. Once they are determined to be able to assist, these patients go back to their home county to stand trial. If there's a community restoration program in the county where the patient is from, they may transfer there to complete their treatment after they've become stable at the hospital. There is also a special part of the hospital that serves people with all three commitment types who have complex medical needs such as dementia or traumatic brain injuries, with staff trained to provide both physical and mental health care. Here are some terms that you'll hear during this presentation. Program and unit. A unit is a living space with the hospital made up of 20 to 30 beds serving people who share a treatment team. Depending on their commitment type and treatment needs, we place patients in a treatment program that will best meet their needs. Each program consists of several units where patients live while at the hospital. There is only one program on the Junction City campus. As patients progress with treatment and as their needs change, they may move from one unit or program to another. No matter the program, the hospital's goal is to help patients get well so they can leave the hospital and achieve the goals they have set for themselves. There is more information about each program in the Friends and Family Guidebook on our website at oshfriends.com. This is an aerial view of the Salem Hospital campus. This includes administrative offices towards the front and patient care and living areas towards the back. As you can see, there are many outside areas within the hospital where patients can get fresh air, socialize, or engage in recreational activities. This campus has 24 units and serves an average of 513 people on a given day, with more than 1,800 staff comprising doctors and nurses, as well as custodians, food service, administration, and maintenance workers, all working in concert to provide the best possible care and treatment. This is an aerial view of our Junction City campus, which includes the main hospital building and 3 suites. The campus is currently serving patients on 3 of its 6 units with an average of 89 people on a given day and more than 400 staff. The hospital is operating 2 of its suites, 2 of the 3 smaller buildings you see in the front, as a residential treatment program called Rivers Run for people under civil commitment who are preparing to transition to a community placement. The 3rd suite is being leased to Lane County as a community restoration program called Mackenzie Ridge for people under aid and assist orders who do not need hospital level care. The hospital works to provide care based on a patient's individual needs. A typical day usually includes a combination of treatment mall groups, recreational activities, and opportunities for building skills that patients will need for a successful transition to the community. This is a typical schedule for patients at the hospital. However, things like meal times and treatment mall hours may vary by program. The photo above is of an activity room on a living unit. The photo below is one of the dining rooms where patients eat their meals. This is a typical patient room. Most patients will have a roommate. Each patient has a small area for storing items like clothing and a locking space for secure storage. Patients are welcome to decorate their living space with things like photos from home and other items that are approved for their unit. Both the Salem and Junction City campuses have multiple outdoor areas called quads that can be used for sitting, walking, playing basketball, and other recreational or social activities. Every patient has a treatment team, sometimes also called an interdisciplinary team or IDT. This team is a group of skilled professionals who work together with the patient to determine what treatment, services, and supports will be best for them. The primary member of the team is the patient. Other members include the doctor, social worker, a nurse, and other staff as needed. With a patient's permission, friends or family members might also be active members of this team. If you're interested in participating on your loved one's team, please contact staff on their unit. The treatment mall is where people go for classes and other activities. Treatment malls are customized to offer different levels of care to meet every patient's individual needs. Patients work with their team to decide which classes are the right fit. Participation in treatment mall is an important part of progressing towards discharge. Treatment services staff plan and lead classes on treatment mall. They also work with patients individually to provide services that meet their treatment or personal needs. Treatment staff include vocational rehabilitation therapists, occupational, music and art therapists, recreational therapists, spiritual care providers, teachers, and more. Peer recovery specialists are staff members who have lived experience with trauma, mental health, and addiction challenges. Peer recovery specialists share their stories of hope to help patients gain strength and empowerment on their journey toward wellness. Peer recovery specialists meet with patients one-on-one or in a group to offer support, teach skills, provide education and mentorship, and to facilitate patient advocacy and leadership committees. Recreational therapists coordinate activities on and off campus. This includes basketball tournaments, art activities, hikes, and more. We also provide mindfulness classes like meditation, Tai Chi, and yoga. These help patients learn skills they can use to regulate their emotions. Here, one of the hospital's group rooms has been set up for a yoga class. Here are some more examples of the type of groups patients may take to develop skills they can use in the community. The hospital provides work opportunities to some patients. Vocational rehabilitation therapists help patients identify work interests and opportunities and develop employment skills. Patients are paid for the work they do and can deposit their money into a trust account. Funds can be used to make purchases at the hospital's cafe, coffee shop, and patient store. Spirituality is an important part of many patients' recovery. OSH supports all faith traditions through the Spiritual Care and Native Services Department. This interfaith department serves nearly 50 faith and Native traditions. Chaplains and Native providers are here to help patients draw upon their spirituality to find strength and hope. Staff work with patients to assess their spiritual needs and then match them with the appropriate services. Maintaining connections with family and friends can be an important part of a patient's recovery. You can show your support through visits, phone calls, and mail. Before visiting with your family member, you will need to fill out a visitor application. Applications are available on our website at oshfriends.com, in person at the reception desk in Salem and Junction City, or you can request to have an application mailed or emailed to you by calling OSH Family Services. The application does require a background check and final approval by the patient. Please allow 5 business days from the date OSH receives your application to complete the approval process. If you have questions about the application process or the status of your application, please contact OSH Family Services. Special arrangements can be made for the use of the hospital's visitor cottage, pet visits, gift giving, and photos with your loved one. Please call your family member's unit to make these requests. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19, all visitation has been suspended until further notice. However, units are now working with patients and their loved ones to arrange virtual visitation. Please contact your family member's unit for more information. Please continue checking our website for updates. Each program has its own visitation hours. Please arrive a few minutes before visitation begins to complete the check-in process. This includes leaving personal items in a locker, completing a security screening, and being escorted to the visitation location. You can find a video about the visitation process and visitation hours for each program at oshfriends.com. There are several ways to enjoy food with your loved one during a visit. Any food that you bring for visitation must be store-bought in its original factory sealed packaging. We do not allow homemade items or food from restaurants. Each hospital location has a cafe and coffee shop with a variety of food and beverage items for purchase. Please know that you must take any leftovers with you when you leave. Patients may not bring food back to their unit. The family dining room provides the perfect setting to celebrate a birthday, anniversary, holiday, or other memorable occasion. You can select a meal from the hospital's catering menu for a fee or purchase food in the cafe. Room and catering reservations should be made at least 2 weeks in advance. Requests depend on staff availability and approval from the unit. For more information and to request a reservation, contact OSH Family Services. Please note that due to COVID-19, use of the family dining room has been suspended until further notice. Please check our website, oshfriends.com, for updates. The hospital encourages communication between a patient, their family, and the treatment team. Oftentimes, family members have helpful suggestions and ideas for improving a person's care. At the same time, patients have a right to privacy regarding their admission to the hospital and how their health information is shared. We must have a patient's permission before we can confirm that they have been admitted to the hospital and before we share any information related to their care. Patients can give or withdraw this permission at any time for any reason. However, that doesn't mean that families can't give information to the hospital. If there's something that you think we should know, like medication, allergies, or treatments that have worked in the past, please feel free to call the Ombuds and Family Services office. The hospital encourages regular communication between patients and family. Patients have access to phones on a daily basis and can make nationwide calls at no cost. Family and friends are encouraged to call their loved ones. Please see our Friends and Family Guidebook for a list of patient phone numbers for each unit. Patients have the right to send and receive mail. Many patients look forward to receiving letters and other mail from their family and friends. Before sending an item, please contact unit staff first to confirm that items are allowed for the unit where your loved one is living. If you do not know what unit to call or if you have questions about sending mail, please contact the Family Services office. In the spring and fall, the hospital hosts a Friends and Family Day at each campus. Friends and family can enjoy a meal with their loved one at no cost, learn more about the hospital, meet hospital staff, and participate in recreational activities. Past activities include a patient art show, live music, community and hospital information booths, and a meet and greet with hospital leadership. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19, these events have been suspended until further notice. Please check our website for updates. Thank you for taking the time to review this information. If you have any questions, please contact us using the information provided on this slide. We are happy to talk to you.